Yo, this is a stream highlight. If you not fucking with me, if you not fucking with me live, bro. I'm live right now on twitch.tv/Chubka, bro. Fuck with me. The link is in the description if you really want to come kick it with a nigga, bro. We watch these shits live, bro. Live. Where you at? You not you where you at if you not there, bro? You fucking up, my nigga. You fucking up.
Tried to call John about seeing the kids, but his phone, his parents' phones, and the home phone had all been disconnected. Chief Christensen went over to the house to see if everything was okay. And as far as he could tell, it looked like the family had just
So you kidnapped his own kids?
without telling anyone. Micah was insistent that something was wrong. The following never-before-seen case has been analyzed by a qualified team, including a licensed attorney, a licensed clinical psychologist, a former licensed professional counselor, and a licensed professional counselor, hoping to get some background on John, the senior mastermind behind everything. Detectives decided to talk to Micah and her mother.
And, we liked each other and wanted to start dating, and of course, Mom said no. Yeah. They didn't care that I was underage or anything like that. When I met John,
See,
I was...
and they didn't care. Bro, throw them in jail.
Very depressed.
Throw them in jail. The parents need to go to jail. This nigga need to go to jail. The nigga 16, 21.
Like, he had all the answers. Everywhere I went to, I was like, oh, this is what we believe. And he was like, no, this is answer with the proof and evidence. This is answer to why the horrible things in my life happened. And it was to the point where for the first time in a long time, I actually felt confident.
And y'all didn't see this coming?
Felt like things were going to be
Nigga.
okay. So, these promises of grandeur and
All this shit be in niggas' faces and they don't see it, my nigga.
now, if you don't follow everything I say, there's a horrible, awful consequences. If the government conspiracy is like, we get, taken by police, our kids are gonna be murdered and put in the system, and
That's the mom? Throw the mom in jail.
single day of my life. That's all he would talk about. That's all he would research. He would have people over, all these different kinds of people talking about, like, earthquakes and different calamities, solar flares, planetary alignments, and all the reasons why the world is.
So you're trying to make his own religion type shit?
Session and her growing concern for her children, Micah worked with one of her husband John's siblings, Heather, to get a spare key to the house. Chief Christensen entered the house with Micah, and they immediately knew that this was more than just a family taking a spontaneous vacation. Something truly terrible was going on. The house had been completely ransacked. All of the furniture, ranging from mattresses to taken, and even
Maybe it's not what I was thinking. Never mind. I'm sorry, John. Hold up, never mind. I'll hold that until we figure out what's going on.
left discarded in the house. Chief Christensen talked with John's sister Heather to determine if she had any idea what could have happened to John, Keith,
That's still weird, though.
kids.
John's still weird. I thought that back. That nigga John's still weird.
But she had even more shocking information to share with them. The grandparents had banned all of their other children and grandchildren from visiting after John had moved back in. Worried that the children might be in danger, Chief Christensen began asking around the neighborhood to see if anyone knew why the Cotharps had left. According to one of Keith's friends, the family had been seen packing everything into a U-Haul the previous day, and Keith himself had said that they were moving to Cedar City because something bad was happening. Micah's mother further elaborated how tumultuous Micah's life had been ever since she met John.
I have not liked him from the day I met him. And he knows it because he's got such a freaking cocky attitude that he comes to get what he wants out of it. His social skills last in a big way. And he offends me at every turn. But my daughter, on the other hand, was under my control. And she was married when she was 19. She was baptized when she was 18. And he performed the baptism. He was a shop his owner, but his successor and successors.
This nigga's trying to make a cult, bro.
But one day they walked in and the most influenced one coat and clothes, overall she was
Yeah.
and they walked in and John started talking about flying helicopters, mercenaries. taking over and shooting everybody. All this random stuff and creating all this stuff in his head. Everybody was like, oh my God. And then he said he lost his job. He couldn't make enough money to support his family, and they informed us they were moving here. And I couldn't thinking about it. He was 19 years old. We came out here, and I drove out with him. They packed a giant U-Haul, and I drove his car. He drove us into an apartment he rented over the internet. And we pulled into this low-class, unkept neighborhood into an apartment that had been occupied by college students who had spilled beer and peed all over the floor, never been cleaned. And John walked in, and Micah was 2 months pregnant, sick of her dog, and he looked at her and he was like, you know, better start cleaning. I was angry, and I knew where I was right then and there. She wouldn't listen to me until a couple years ago. She started driving like 6 years ago. That's how much she kept her back. She barely finished high school. He talked her into giving up her college education.
Dumbass. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a dumbass too. Not even because I like. Well, nah, I won't even cap. I'm not dumb, but I'm not stupid.
This is troubling, but not particularly surprising.
Wait, what?
Starting today,
I'm dumb, but I'm not
monetized
stupid.
with ads. As part of the all-new Beehive ad network,
I'm a little drunk, bro.
thousands of newsletters already monetized, and it's about to get even better. More ad opportunities, better brands, automated payments, streamlined.
It's
Bro,
the
what the
grandiosity, sense of entitlement, and exploitative nature of people with antisocial personality disorder that often leads to them treating others, particularly their romantic partners, as their property, rather than a human being with individual rights.
Like the last dude.
It
That
also
nigga
makes
looked
sense that they
crazy.
try to
He looked
handle
like
any
Charles
accomplishments
Manson.
like a driver's license or schooling, as these would provide her with independence from him and potentially expose her to a world outside of John and his delusions. With no way to contact or find them, Micah was terrified that her kids might be in some sort of danger. So Chief Christensen advised her to get a lawyer and a divorce, as currently she and John were still married, and he had every right to go somewhere with his kids. After a tumultuous process, Micah was finally granted a divorce and given full custody of the children on November 27th, over a month after John had disappeared with them. Unfortunately, now it was time for the hard part, finding John and getting the kids from him. In the time it took Micah to get a divorce, a few neighbors spotted John going back to his parents' house to pick things up before disappearing again. Knowing that John had to show up again eventually, Chief Christensen began sitting outside of the Coltharps' home, waiting for his chance to speak with John. Around midnight on December 1st, John finally showed up at his parents' house again. However, this time, he wasn't alone. With him was Samuel Schaefer,
He brought the
a
whole
close
coat.
friend of his. When Chief Christensen approached the two men and asked why they were there, they told him that they were picking up Micah's death certificate. As Micah was not dead, and Chief Christensen obviously knew this, it became clear that the two men were trying to hide something. But the extent of the horrors they were covering up couldn't even be imagined at this point. When John refused to tell him where the children were so they could be given over to Micah, Chief Christensen had John arrested. Despite his worry that Sam was involved in some way, he had nothing to hold Sam on and had to let him go. This would prove to have tragic consequences. John declined when asked to speak to detectives, asking for a lawyer and refusing to cooperate. Eventually, though, the police were able to locate Keith
This
and
nigga's
Catherine
sus,
Stars
bro.
in a compound near Lund, where John and Sam had been living not only with John's parents and 4 children, but also with Sam's 2 daughters. The compound was raided on December 3rd, and the authorities were disgusted by the living conditions that they found there. The storage containers that made up the compound were riddled with filth, trash, and clutter. Boxes and containers
That's
lined
a
the
crack
floor,
house,
and
bro.
dirt had been caked onto every surface. Among the junk and the refuse of the compound, there were signs of the children. Children's clothes, toys, and drawings could be found throughout the storage containers. However, there was no sign of any of the 6 children themselves. After dedicated searching, the police were able to find John's 2 sons, alongside their grandparents, Keith and Catherine. Strangely, the 2 young boys' hair was so filled with tree sap that everyone thought they'd have to shave their heads. While 2 children being
The
recovered was
fuck?
good news,
They living in
the fate of the
trees?
4 girls was still unknown. Keith and Catherine were questioned about the location of the girls, but they insisted that Sam had hidden them, and they had no idea where he or any of the girls were.
And that didn't give you any
Able to find out about
concern?
the children, the police did find something else that gave them insight into this whole strange situation in the form of a binder. The papers within the binder contained the rules and beliefs for a fundamentalist cult named the Knights of the Crystal Blade.
I knew
The
it.
cult not only took beliefs from
That
Mormon
nigga just
religion,
looked like he had a
but also
cult.
simultaneously believed in Norse gods and Roman gods. While the cult did take beliefs from several religions, it's important to remember that they weren't formally associated with or accepted by any of these religions. With further reading into the binder, authorities learned that John and Sam were not only a part of this cult, but they had actually started it.
They were the
According
owners.
to the binder, Sam was a seer for the cult, with many of his strange so-called revelations listed for authorities to read. John was the group's leader, and according to the cult's rules, he was to be worshipped like a god. Apparently, John had foreseen an impending
This nigga.
end, though the details of what that meant wouldn't be revealed until later.
This nigga acting like a mob psycho villain, bro.
It was highly concerning to authorities, and an Amber Alert was put out for the 4 missing girls. While one team stayed on the ground, desperately trying to find them, another set of detectives decided to talk to Micah and her mother, as well as John's parents, hoping to get some background on John, the seeming mastermind behind everything. Through these interviews, the investigators soon discovered that all this talk about the coming apocalypse was a chilling cover for something far more horrifying than anything they could have imagined.
So how did John get custody of the children? How did he get physical possession of the children? And when was that?
So we lived in an apartment that had an upstairs and a downstairs, and how we broke it down was he lived upstairs, I lived downstairs, and the kids, go fairly between the two. And he worked during the day, and I worked at night. So the second he got home from work, I left. So there was always someone there with the kids, and we decided, okay, we'll just co-parent. And I wanted a divorce. He said, no, we have to wait. Let's wait till, at least the new year, and then we can have a whole, fiscal year, and then it won't be all messed up on taxes. And I was like, all right, fine, because I couldn't afford it anyway. I didn't have a dime in my name. We were in $40,000 of debt, the majority of which was spent on survival gear, anything he wanted for his computers.
What year was that?
This year.
Okay. This year? And where were you living? For your apartment?
Provo.
Oh, okay.
So,
Is that where you live now? Same apartment or different?
different apartment.
Okay.
The reason I don't live there anymore is because end of May, he came to me and told me that he was fired and that his company was going out of business. After missing, I talked to his boss and he goes, oh no, he quit. We begged him to stay. He said he had a family emergency. So he came to me and he goes, I've lost my job. We can't afford the apartment anymore without my income. I have decided I no longer want to be a member of this society. I am no longer working. I'm going to live off my parents' Social Security. So I've already called the landlord. We have to be out in a couple weeks. I'm taking the kids to Stampede and you're going to come with me. And I said, I don't have a job down there. There are no jobs. Someone has to take care of the kids. He goes, you don't need to worry about that. My parents are going to pay for it. We'll live off our food storage. I'm like, the kids need clothes. They need food that is nutritious. They need all these things. They have to have a future. We can't just give up everything. And he's like, well, then you're on your ass. I was working 65 hours a week. So I was working so much to make money and take food and clothes down there on the weekends, and that's the only time I got to see them. I was working at a place called Elevate Health Sciences, and he didn't care because the world was gonna end.
So prior to that, did they go to any public schools?
No, he refused to let me do anything. I agreed
So
with
they've been homeschooled
homeschooling.
their entire life?
I agreed with homeschooling to a point because they were young, and it got to the point where John wouldn't allow the kids to socialize with any of his neighborhood kids, or even with the cousins, because he was such a germaphobe. He didn't want anyone to get sick. And then it got to the point where I was like, all right, I try as much as I can personally. I'm not a teacher. I've tried. This is very hard for me, and especially with kids 4 different ages. They need something more. I can't do this. They need something beyond what I can give them. And he refused to give them any sort of tutoring, schooling, whatever. He's like, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. None of them can read. None of them can do math. They're bright kids. And when I would try to talk to them about teaching, all I wanted to teach about was
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine that John's parents, or
Alright.
anyone for that matter, would be willing
In your hand, you got
to
it?
continue to treat his children this way.
Alright, I'll go get it.
But as the detectives were about to discover, Keith and Catherine Coltharp had an interesting story of their own to tell.
I do have a question though. Are we being charged with something tonight?
At this point, all my job is to do is get the facts. I don't know if there's anything. I would like to just speak with you and get this whole story.
I don't know why she didn't ban leave. Shit, this is that dumbass shit.
My wife and I both just really beside ourselves with all this because we thought we knew we were doing it.
She should have been left, bro. Now your kid, now you don't know where the fuck your kid's at.
Okay.
It's obvious that even though Keith
Probably somewhere in a tunnel somewhere, praising some god or some shit. Praising some type of, I don't know,
layout of the room. Keith is literally
getting touched or some shit.
Access to the door blocked, which may make him feel trapped, anxious, or defensive. The Reed technique, a popular method of interrogation in the U.S., recommends that investigators not be seated between the subject and the door to prevent false imprisonment claims. Otherwise, the room conditions appear to be consistent with a typical interrogation room, stark and minimal. There's no barrier for Keith to hide behind, such as a table, so the detective is able to observe all his movements. Just like her husband, Catherine is insistent that they haven't done anything wrong. However, further questioning will prove that this might not be the whole truth. After both parents have read their Miranda rights, detectives work with them to get a timeline on the family fleeing to the compound.
I guess for quite a while, myself and my husband had been, looking at the world events and everything, and, we read the scriptures and saw the prophecies of the end times and everything, and John was always talking to us. I mean, he was always talking to us about that stuff, and so we were into it. It was interesting, and, we believed that, we're probably at the end of times, and we wonder how the Lord's going to gather his people to safety and all that. John started talking to us and telling us that he had received revelations that we are to gather out because things are going to start happening.
So in this process, it got to a point where Micah was demanding to pick up the kids and take them to her apartment in Provo with a guy that she's living in with there, and John wouldn't put up with that. He said, no, he says, we got to leave. So within 2 days, we had a U-Haul van, and we're loading everything up, taking stuff out of our house, and we were out of there.
The revelations he'd gotten on the end times, and we're supposed to get out of Babylon, and her wanting to take the kids, we said, okay, let's go. And we didn't think it was illegal to take the kids since he had them.
At the compound, officers continue to look for the missing children, but their endeavors have hit a dead end. John continued to refuse to cooperate.
That's secluded as an area, bro.
Officers with no choice but to rely solely on tips from the Amber Alert. Additionally, they're banking on any insights gleaned from Catherine and Keith's interviews, hoping they might offer a hint or clue to the whereabouts of Sam and the missing girls. Back at the station, not only do detectives now have a better idea of why and when the family packed up and moved to the compound, they've also gained a lot more insight into John as a person.
Wendy's fries are always hot and crispy.
Friday!
So Toby says every day is now
Friday, Tuesday,
Friday,
Wednesday, Friday.
Get the fries other fries wish they could be. Wendy's hot and crispy fries, guaranteed.
My main objective when shooting food is to capture detail, texture, and color. I love Lightroom because of its speed, convenience, and easy adjustments. I always want the food to look delicious. My name is...
First of all, it seems likely that John described Micah in a very negative light to his parents in order to elicit their help. He may have wanted them to see him as the victim in the situation, so they would be sympathetic toward him. Yet, as Keith is about to
copyright.
John didn't just rescue his parents from the supposed apocalypse because he loved them.
He got a commitment from us before we left that we were going to support him and support this whole thing with regard to the United States.
So by support him, what does that mean to you?
He was in charge. We had to vote to allow him to be in charge.
But financially, who was paying for it all?
Me. He took all the money.
He had you make a commitment to support him financially and support his costs?
Yeah.
By doing that, did you close your bank accounts and stuff too, or?
No, in fact, I left all the credit open that I had. In fact, I was almost debt free. It was really upsetting on all this whole thing. But so So what he did is he had me stop making mortgage payments and stop paying the bills and run all my credit cards all the way up. He bought a Chevy Suburban from that place in Cedar City, Bradshaw. Yeah, and it's a 2016 Suburban.
Why you listening to your kid, bro?
Do missionary work, proselyting.
Transport
Readily admits to
kids.
being convinced by John to financially support the cult, which is indicative of John's manipulative and parasitic tendencies. It's possible that he's using these so-called revelations and prophecies as a way of convincing his parents to support him financially as they fled off the grid with him and the kids. This would also explain why he wanted Micah out of the picture so badly. He likely knew his days of manipulating and controlling her were long over, so he needed to get financial support and run with the kids as fast as possible.
The revelations that John receives and Sam received had to come from somewhere, but I don't believe they were from God now, as I look back. They were so convincing and so beautifully written out of a language that they never would have used. And they were uplifting.
Having studied it extensively, John is familiar enough with the Bible that it was likely easy for him to manipulate his words into sounding biblical enough to fool his parents. As Catherine is starting to realize, everything her son has told her seems to just be a ruse in order to get her and her husband's money. But that's not the only reason he wanted to go to the compound, and that true reason is more disturbing than anyone can imagine. On December 4th, just a day after the compound raid and the Amber Alert is issued for the missing girls, officers received a pivotal tip. A concerned caller reported a suspicious man in the Lund area. At the scene, officers are stunned to recognize the person. It was Sam Schaefer. With none of the girls in sight and Sam walking in the same vicinity as the trailer where John's parents were found, officers apprehend him immediately. As one of the officers drives him to the commander center for further questioning, Sam asks a question that makes his stomach churn.
Did you get the 4 kids? Or
What's that?
the 2 girls that were in a barrel, wrapped up so they'd be warm.
In a barrel?
After dodging any questions about the missing girls, Sam suddenly inquired if the officers had found them. What truly sent shivers down the spine was his nonchalant remark that they were warm in a barrel. The officer immediately informs the other officers.
The fuck they in a barrel for?
Radio, but this was only the beginning of an unsettling twist in the story.
It was in the back of the junkyard with the red storage bins.
Where at? Back of the junkyard in the red storage bins. Couple of
Here on the property?
On the property behind.
It's a property that's back behind to the right a little bit. It's got red containers on it.
Red container. What color's the barrel?
Blue.
It's a blue barrel. He's saying, "I'm gonna pick his stuff up from where we're
I thought
at."
they said
I can't
red.
imagine it'd still be in it.
Or did he say the container?
Is this by the North Connex boxes?
That junkyard, yeah.
Back in the junkyard.
It's the back of the left of the junkyard. I doubt they're still in there. I just was scared.
How far back?
Maybe, I'm a bad estimator distance, maybe 40 yards or something.
As he rushes to rescue the little girls, Sam's nonchalant attitude about this entire situation continues to baffle the officer.
If it's still there, they're gonna need water.
This nigga weird.
No matter where they've been, they need water. Food.
As the officer and his team reach the junkyard, what they witness sends a wave of dread over them.
I left him in a blue barrel. Hey, hi. What's the matter? Who's gone? Where's your sister? What's her name?
What the fuck are they doing in barrels?
Where is...
Bro, these niggas is strange.
I'm doing the storage container. Which one?
The red one.
One of these?
No. A storage container very far away.
Cedar, one of you 15.
They got these motherfuckers scattered. And how don't they see this shit from an airplane though? Why don't they have helicopters?
Is she okay? Okay, do you want to come out here? Let's get you over one of our trucks and get you warm. Command, one of you 15. Okay. We got a radio cell phone going up. Command, I believe we have the 2 Schaefer daughters. We cannot locate the other. They were locked in a container. Hey, let's go to my truck so you can get warm. Let's get her out. Come on. It's okay. Don't touch that. Don't touch that. Cedar, want to be a 15 or command? Let's start medical this way, please.
Why the fuck she don't got pants on?
Cover up with your blankie. Let's go to my truck. Let's get you to our truck so we can get you warm, okay?
In a heart-wrenching sight, officers find 2 girls, aged 7 and 4, freezing out in the open with a loaded gun next to them. While one of the girls speaks with the
What
officers,
the fuck?
the other is both too cold and too scared to climb out of the barrel, as the officers continue to assure her to trust them.
What's that? I'm about 1,000 yards north of where you buzzed me earlier. Out here, kind of a junkyard. I'm away from my truck. I can't turn my lights on. It's okay, all right? Come on out. Come on out. We'll wrap you up in your jacket, okay? We'll make sure you stay warm. We got to get you into a warm vehicle. Come on.
Oh, the police!
Yeah, we're the police, yes.
Over there!
We're here to help you. There's a whole bunch of us out here trying to come on, guys. Okay, just come on out. Come on out. We have to find the other 2.
As the officers continue to convince the little girl, all units rush to the location, including those who picked up Sam. With both of John's daughters still missing, police deployed trucks, vans, and helicopters to begin scouting the location. Officers on the ground continue to interrogate Sam about the location of the 2 missing girls. What he reveals next is nothing short of horrific.
Gosh, I just want to keep him warm. I thought I was going to come back for him. You know what I mean?
Well, where have you been?
Just down south.
You walked there from last night, clear down south today?
Yeah.
Are these
fuck?
Your daughters or are these your friend's daughters?
Should I say? Or I guess. One of them's mine, one of them's John's.
Contrary to what the officers had assumed, the 4-year-old in the barrels was John's youngest daughter. This meant that the other 2 missing girls were John's older daughter and Sam's younger.
Which one's yours?
The tall one with the dress.
And what's her name? Is that all that's out here? There's no more little girls out here?
No, not out here.
You don't have any more little girls? I was told you have 2 little girls of your own biological of your own.
2 of my own.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of my own right there. And so.
Where's the other one at?
She's with my other daughter.
Where's your other daughter at?
How we get from 6 though?
If they're out here.
Yeah.
It was only 23 degrees in Cedar last night.
Oh no, they're not outside. They're at a friend's house.
Down in St. George.
No, not
There should be 4 more because they got the 2 boys.
I mean, I was under the impression too that John told me to protect the girls and he didn't want them to be taken, and I just respect his wish. I didn't think it would turn out into this, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was gonna be a raid or anything.
No, I'm saying that nigga sound weird as fuck,
these are
bro.
the only 2 girls that are out here right now.
Out in the.
Why that nigga holding that gun so zestily, bro?
And you stuck them in that.
Am I tweaking?
Yeah.
To keep them warm.
Right, to keep them warm.
Why don't you just take them back to the house?
I figured I'd be arrested on the spot, of course. And
so you put them in a 50-gallon drum.
I was gonna come back, and then I thought I was being followed, but I guess, I don't know. I just went. So.
Who be having kids with niggas like this? I know. I know already. I seen her already. One of the girls.
trying to lawyer or something like that. Or something with
Why you asking
I
him?
can read you. I can read your rights, okay?
Okay.
As Sam continues to stall and refuses to reveal the exact location of the other two girls, officers continue to coax the little girl out of the barrel to safety.
Sweetie, you've got to come out. Come on. So
Nigga, drag her ass out.
whole part and one shaper. Come on out. Come on out. All right, come here, grab her. Let's go. Come on. Watch the gun. Watch the gun. Watch the gun.
You should grab her.
In one of the red containers. Or that's a blue barrel. You're okay, don't be scared. I'm gonna take you to a warm vehicle.
With the girls safe in the police truck and paramedics on the way, authorities regroup to discuss the next plan of action. While this is happening, an officer continues to circle back and forth between Sam and the little girl seated in his truck.
Get a little drink, sweet. Can you drink out of a bottle? Go ahead, you take it. You take it and get a little drink. Okay. We'll get you some food as soon as we can, okay? I don't have any food, okay? Soon. You want some more? I'm gonna leave this with you, okay? Alright, don't be scared, okay? We're here to help you, okay? Alright, be big girls.
Okay, and then I'm officially under arrest, or?
You are officially under arrest right now, yes.
Oh, okay.
You're a subject of a nationwide Amber Alert. Do you understand what that means?
No, I mean, I think I know what that means.
Let me backtrack a little bit too, because you're not officially under arrest. You are being detained while we further our investigation.
Okay.
Maybe that'll help clear things up.
Yeah. Thanks for clearing that up. I just wanted to know if if the arrest,
This nigga is weird, bro.
even if I say something or it doesn't matter because I broke the law without knowing I broke the law. Does that make sense?
There's always mitigating and exigent circumstances in every case. I don't know your story yet.
Right.
I don't know the circumstances.
Right. Okay.
I do want to know where the other kids are.
I know you do. Yeah. I still
Whether you took them knowingly or unknowingly.
Right. I still want to respect John's wishes, but
we have to find you what
John's wishes is he no longer with us?
He has zero rights to these kids. Zero.
Why is that?
Other than he's their biological father. That's
I thought I just took them and that was.
You could have been misled.
Okay.
You could have been
Nigga,
misled.
what?
I see.
Okay. We have to find them.
Okay. Should I talk to the lawyer?
That is your choice. That is your right. I've read you your rights.
And then I'm officially under arrest, though, when I say that, right?
I don't think you're officially under arrest, but you are being detained.
Okay. Sounds good.
During the course of this investigation.
Okay.
I can't place you under arrest because I don't know what charges you're looking at.
Right.
I'm here to find 4 kids, 2 in particular.
Right. Okay.
So if you wish to talk to an attorney without any further questions, that's your right. If you want to talk to me, that's your right. Free to do so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll ask him some questions.
Okay.
With Sam lawyering up and refusing to give any information, the officer rushes back to check on the girls. This time, one of them tells him something so twisted that it turns the entire search mission on its head.
Hello? Hello?
They dead or some shit.
Okay, I've got 2 kids, 2 little girls. They said the other ones are in a red Connex. The suspect lawyered up, but he told me that he took the other girls down south somewhere where they're safe. The girls immediately told me the other 2 are in a red box, hiding, or locked away.
With the conflicting information at play and given Sam's reputation, there's all the reason to believe the girls.
You know what's brilliant? Boring. Think about it.
Or is he talking about the same information grading? Okay, I think so. I think that's what it is. I thought the girl said something new. Yo.
Could you tell us where the other 2 girls are?
Oh, maybe not.
Really far away? Did you go in a car?
Oh, so okay, that answered my question. Already, okay.
She's freezing. She's freezing.
So it's not in that area. It's just That nigga walked that far.
No, you just walk. Very close. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you starving? You're not hungry, but you're hungry?
I'm hungry, but I'm not starving, but I am hungry.
Okay, we're trying to round you up some food. Do you still have water left? Okay, just keep sipping on that water. We're gonna try to find you a little blankie to wrap you up.
I have this coat with with a blue X on it.
You have a coat with a blue X? Okay, okay, listen to me. Listen to me. When your dad left you in the blue barrel, did you see where he put the other girls?
Yeah.
Where?
He left all the way to the white box that's still falling, and he put his girls there.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get the fuck silly far away.
Is your dad Samuel?
Yeah.
That's your dad? Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna close the door so you can keep warming up.
Presuming that the red box may not be as far away, authorities set out on foot to look for it.
They told me a red box.
Where the fuck? Don't they got a helicopter?
Girls specifically said a red box, and they walked there. They did not drive a car. But they said very far away. But you're talking little teeny 4-year-old. So if there's any way we can start searching, maybe over by those trees, I don't even know.
By this time, 2 helicopters, an ambulance, and 20 law enforcement officers.
I thought they already had a helicopter though.
Girls. And the one man who knows exactly where they are isn't willing to talk without a deal, even if their lives are at stake.
Torture this nigga, bro.
His statement alone isn't enough to invoke his right to silence, and so long
Break all this nigga fingers until he break.
Livid with Sam, some of the officers are unable to hide their frustration.
I'm telling you, I'm not sworn. I'll take it up in the helicopter and throw it out. Where's dangling? So it tells us where the hell they are.
We got the ambulance coming out right now.
Yeah.
These 2 girls are froze half to death. We've got
For real, he got the right idea. See.
We're just here to make sure, and we're going to make sure these girls are healthy.
Okay, good.
We're right here on scene. We got an ambulance on its way out.
Okay, good.
We're looking through all these Connex boxes here for the other 2 girls because it is freezing out here.
Yeah, no, they're not here. They're under a blanket in a trailer. But
in a trailer, that doesn't got any heat,
yeah,
Sam's going to be.
Yeah. I do want them to get out of there.
Is that something you're willing to take us to so we can get them out of there?
I've heard some. Oh, don't get me wrong. John told me never to say this to a cop, but I've heard some horror stories about CPS and stuff. I just wanted to go basically.
This nigga is riding John's dick, bro.
Then the grandparents are still right over here. They're not in their house, but they're over at our command center by the trains.
Oh, they are.
So they're over there. Your grandparents, that's not your grandparents. The grandparents are still over there.
Yeah, okay.
So that, like I said, our intention is the welfare of the children, to make sure that everything's safe. And they go with their parents. We don't intend on taking kids. That's not our position unless it's a really bad household. We're just looking to make sure these kids are okay.
Yeah, I was so scared when I was running back. I figured they'd been found, but because I thought there was guys in the junkyard last night. I guess I was wrong about that.
No, nobody's in the junkyard. We did come out here earlier today.
But
we checked all the boxes.
They didn't get out or anything.
They didn't. They heard us, and they said they were told to stay quiet, so they stayed quiet, and so they did what they were asked to do.
Yeah. I feel terrible about that. I don't want that to be in the charges or something. I was so scared. What I was gonna say is,
nigga, it's gonna be in the charges, nigga. Child neglect, bro.
I'm gonna go straight back to Mike, and then I agree with
Mike, and I don't.
That's their mother. Their mother.
And I believe she's on her way down.
Oh, I'm sure she is.
So
she's probably right around the corner ready to shoot us.
Well, I've been out here all day, so I couldn't tell you that, but I believe she's on her way down. So is the other 2 children, are they close by here then?
Yeah.
They are close by here.
Decently close.
You walked to it.
Yeah. We walked through last night. I had to carry my daughter. We were in a bad way last night too, and
it was freezing last night. And the wind was blowing 100 miles an hour.
My friend said I could always come over anytime I wanted, so I knew I had an open invitation, but he wasn't there, so we couldn't get in the main house. So we went into his trailer, his side trailer or whatever, and I was hoping there was food in there, and there wasn't. It was like stale ramen, and so we're all really hungry. I got them water, but they're hungry, and they're under a blanket.
So where are they at?
Will you give them straight to Micah?
That's the plan.
Okay. Is there a way to get a guarantee?
You want me to get a detective back here to talk to you?
Nigga!
If that's possible.
Hang on just a second.
For the first time since the officers found Sam that evening, they seem to have found a way to get
I don't even fuck with the police like that, but I trust them over you, bro.
They'd rescued the other 2 girls. It was truly a race against time to quickly find those poor children trapped in the red box before it was too late.
I'm Mark Gower. I'm the elected sheriff of the county.
Yeah.
What are you looking for from us?
Okay, so basically, I totally want to cooperate, and I want the girls
that would
to be safe.
Best right now.
Everything.
I'm gonna pull some weeds out of your beard.
Okay. I want what's best for the girls, but because of my views of CPS and things like that, I really want them to go.
I have the same views you do.
I would rather them go straight back into the custody of Micah, their mother.
That's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
I guarantee it. I swear on my life.
Okay. Okay.
So can you tell us where they're at?
Yeah, they're in the Burl area. It's not in my friend's name. The land is. It's in some girl's name, but it's. I can show you right where it's at. His name's.
Oh, I know where that's at.
Yeah. Yeah. It's in the back trailer.
After what seemed like an eternity, Sam disclosed the whereabouts of the trailer where the other 2 girls were left.
Hey, L human, but W friend.
Mobile trailer. The place appeared to
This is the type of timing the other homie should have been on in that last video.
John's 8-year-old and Sam's 5-year-old were discovered freezing, famished, and severely dehydrated.
When life plays dirty, water wipes.
You shitty ass. See, fuck them kids, bro.
Joint chiropractic, quality care that's convenient, customized, and affordable too.
While all 4 girls were now safe, they'd been exposed to hours of sub-freezing temperatures and starvation.
Are you hungry? You just want to see your dad? Okay. You want your mommy? Okay. You guys thirsty? You thirsty? Are you thirsty, sweetie? Cold? What's your name, sweetie? Elizabeth Richardson.
This isn't the girl's real name, but why would such a young child lie about their name? The answer will become shockingly apparent as the case unfolds.
Elizabeth Richardson, that's a good name. Here we go. You guys want some water? Sweetie. Are you guys hungry or anything? Here, I'll open it up for you. Hey, look what I found you guys. I found a stuffed animal. You guys want to play with that? That's my friend, Mr. Panda. You feel okay, sweetie?
We were in
Yeah?
our
Your room? It's really cold in there.
we were on
I know we probably scared you, huh? I'm sorry. We didn't know where you're at. We've been trying to find you guys all day. We're scared because there's no adult here. We want to make sure you're okay, so... And that trailer was locked, and so we couldn't get in. So we had to climb through the window. That's pretty wild, huh? Hey, you guys want to see something cool? Check these out. Oh, these are really cool. If they work. Oh, come on. There they go. It's starting to glow a little bit. See that? It's called a glow stick. Super cool, huh? If they work. Oh, come on. There they go. Do you guys want a piece of pizza? We have some pizza. Do you like pizza? Yeah? Pizza. 2 pieces. Okay, we'll get you guys some pizza, okay? Huh? You want a piece of pizza? Okay, we're working on that, sweetheart, okay? But we just want to make sure you guys are okay.
Once the medics assessed the girls, they were immediately rushed to the hospital for hypothermia treatment. One of Sam's daughters even had to be transported to a children's hospital via life flight due to her critical condition. Now it was finally time to question Sam Schaefer and get to the bottom of this unbelievable case. As shocking as everything was that had already happened, the true horror of what occurred on that compound has yet to be revealed. What may at first seem to be a disturbing...
Bro, I'm telling you, they was on some weird shit.
...would soon reveal itself to be one of the worst cases Utah has ever uncovered. Investigators will be horrified to find out that the cult John started was actually far more sickening than anyone
I hate
could
to
have
say
ever
it, but it
imagined.
probably
You
was.
see,
Just
for
from how he
6 weeks of the
describing
incident,
it.
the girls were hidden.
The time came when Mike was threatening him, I guess, that she's going to take the kids, never let him see them, that she's going to change every agreement they've ever had about just, you name it, schooling, they're taught what they can watch. Just she basically went against her rebelled against everything they'd ever agreed upon. And it was, she wanted to take him, never let him see him, and raise him how she wanted. And John said, he's not going to have that. And so essentially what happened was one day John says, we're going to go leave and start a new life, and his parents agreed. I was his friend at the time. We got a hotel first, and then we thought we'd build some money to get a place, so we camped for a while, and then we got containers, and then we were going to build another place, and it was a pretty hard take, but he also wanted to stay away from Micah because of what she threatened, so we were just coping with it until we got more money to get better houses. I agreed to go along with, with him because by then
This don't sound too bad.
and as far as I knew, he had the right to do that. It's a little matter as far as I was concerned.
Sam glosses over the irony of how John took the kids from Micah in order to prevent her taking the kids from him. It's likely that Sam justified this decision in his mind because he saw John as the leader of their religion, so his authority trumped Micah's. With their timeline now established, the detectives try to find out more about the Knights of the Crystal Blade, an order that, according to their binder, symbolized a body of godly men.
Your guys' religion, he says it's kind of off of LDS? Or?
Yeah, it's, I think there might be a few additional things besides the obvious major teachers, but the main drive of it's definitely LDS, yeah, for sure.
I was just kind of curious what kind of some of your beliefs were.
John started getting these interesting insights about like Beatitudes and things that he started sharing with us, which were new but really profound, which is really what got us talking about the work and things like that. For instance, one is thank God for not just your blessings, but also for your hardships and your trials, that everything's, God's hand is in all things, and so you should want whatever He wants. You should thank Him for bad things that happen. You should thank Him for bad things that happen, so that you learn.
Trials in your life, right?
What's that?
Like your trials in your life.
Right.
Trials and tribulations.
Jesus teaches you something. He wants you to make a bad situation turn better, things like that. There's also one we believe that most will see God as a high and mighty person looks down on us, whereas John sees somehow that God actually looks at us very humbly. He knows that if he was in our circumstances, he makes many of the same mistakes and looks on us from like a parent, knowing what you're going through.
How do you believe, or what do you think about the Philippians part? That don't be us.
We believe in the Old Testament. I don't think there's anything inherently morally wrong, but that's probably saying, I don't know, maybe I should have a lawyer or something. Philippians is actually not ideal. It's usually done if women need a husband. Like, I don't think it should be like all these guys in the fundamental community all of a sudden got as many wives as they can. For one thing, that's not sustainable from a demographics point of view. So I think when there's a woman that needs a husband, then I don't care if I'm a believer.
Who all was involved? Who all was with you? It was you and John and who else?
Me and John and Kathy and Sam was 4 adults. And then we had 6 kids.
So describe that relationship. What do you mean by they were with you and the girls were with who?
Our job in supporting John was to be the servant.
Okay.
Basically be a servant to him.
Okay.
The boys were John's boys.
Okay.
So we took the boys.
These niggas are deluded, bro. You gotta be a dumbass.
So forth. We bought all of our food as a group together and stuff, and a lot of that food was bought through they call them food stamps. Sam was on food stamps. He had his 2 kids. He had custody of them.
Keith seems to have have no problem admitting that his job in the cult was to be a servant to John, demonstrating the level of power that John has over his father. It's possible that it's easier for Keith to believe John is a prophet receiving revelations about the apocalypse, rather than accept the alternative that he's just using his parents for money.
What was the long-term goal for this new order?
That we would go to the desert, and the Lord would tell us where to go, and then things would start coming down around us, and we'd be away from all the destruction and everything. And eventually we'd go to the Rocky Mountains, and then walk to Alabama Diamond and all that stuff. It's like over a long period of time.
Was the intent to get off the grid?
The intent was to stay where alive.
Well, I understand that, but you mentioned something about being off the grid.
Well, yeah, that's what we tried to do. He bought the solar thing so that he could have the internet.
Catherine admits that although she was told they had to get off the grid to protect themselves from the apocalypse, John actually continued to use the internet on the compound. This is the detective's first hint that there might be a deeper, darker reason that John brought everyone to the middle of the desert. While everything they had learned about the cult so far had been shocking and appalling, nothing could have prepared them for the stomach-churning truth they were getting closer and closer to uncovering.
Tell me about John's parents, real quick.
They listened to John's revelations and different inspiration he had, and they felt a good spirit about it, and they decided that they agreed with their son, they wanted to help him, and they didn't like Micah, of course. I think it just kind of went from there. It just kind of came along, I guess you could say.
So how did they end up with the boys?
Really out of control, and John couldn't take care of the girls and him at the same time, like he'll just do. He's uncontrollable. I'm sure John can tell you all the horror stories unless he doesn't want to, but one time he poured like water down light sockets, he poured oil on the bed, he's rowdy, he says random stuff, he's uncontrollable.
So he left the two boys with his parents?
Yeah, because kind of evened out everything, made it so that it was quieter, I guess, for him.
Sam is insistent that John's son is completely uncontrollable, which is why he was sent off to be taken care of by John's parents, while John and Sam focused on raising the girls. This is not the true reason, and the truth is more horrifying than you can imagine. As well, it's important to note that the child may have been acting out as a result of his turbulent home environment.
What? What food? Why didn't she bring it to me?
She did. She said she did. It was a tuna sandwich. Did you want it? Jaden. It was a tuna sandwich. Did you want it?
I mean, I asked her if she had it in her hand.
Oh, it was sitting right there the whole time. I asked her. You got a haircut?
Yeah.
Let me see. Who did it?
The same over the YouTube.
Here's some highlights.
You do.
You have to wait on that, my nigga. These niggas, bruh. These niggas, bruh.
Nope.
Tell me if I'm tweaking or not. Did I not ask her if she had it in her hand? I'm thinking she telling me that it's downstairs and that it's made. She had it in her hand, bro. This nigga, man. These niggas, man.
Why not ask the
These
most
niggas is
confident
different, bro.
person you know?
My old high school coach.
What was kind of the sleeping arrangement out there? You were staying in there?
Oh, you mean out of the No, that was just I think fun of it. The other night it was really clear, so I ended up. But most of the time we're having dinner.
Who's been left in favor?
Though Sam has mentioned getting a lawyer, he hasn't unequivocally stated that he wants one, which means that the interrogation can continue. In order to invoke your right to an attorney, you must clearly state that you want one present.
I noticed there was the one in the middle, thinking that might be yours.
You mean the big long one?
Trying to remember. Yeah, but there's been longer. The one in the middle that runs, then you have two on the sides.
Yeah.
That one's yours.
The one on the side mine. The long one's
And you've only been out there since September, huh? So not too long, have you?
No, but we were planning on building this place and we got some money together.
Where do the girls stay and the boys out there?
I probably let the lawyer talk about that.
What haven't we talked about? But Sam, give your side of things. You've been pretty cooperative, I think.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
With Sam's reluctance to answer this question without a lawyer, it becomes undeniable that there's something the detectives aren't being told, and it's only a matter of time until they find out what it is. It was a very smart move by the officer to ask if there's anything they haven't talked about, since it skirts the issue of the touchy question while still getting Sam to talk to them and give them information.
What caused you to take off yesterday?
Well, I still thought he had custody and he asked me to keep him.
You just mentioned that you said that he asked you to
make sure that
they
know when took him and that I kept him.
Did you get word or something that somebody was looking for him or something?
Well, the weird thing was, first John was arrested, I didn't know why. Then the cops were at our place and I decided to go with the kids because John asked me to, but I didn't know why on that either. And then I want to come back, not only to find
These niggas just followers, bro.
but also to help the other two girls that I felt I couldn't help because I had to, I thought someone was following.
Honestly, people might not fuck with me for saying this, but that's what I feel like religion is. Like, hope ain't a bad thing. Hope ain't a bad thing, and I actually agree with some of the shit they say in the Bible. But like, I feel like the religion as a whole is just a bunch of followers who want hope in their lives. And then the thing with cults is they take advantage of that. Maybe they do actually believe that they are a god, and this religion is the best thing, and they have been chosen by a higher up person, or that they are God themselves. But like, I just feel like that's all that is. Just a bunch of followers who all want hope in their lives, or a reason to live, or a reason in life. Me, I'm gonna make me. I believe I'm gonna make my own reason for like why I'm here. I'm the one to give myself reason in my life, not anybody higher than me. That's all I. Maybe, and some people might not fuck with that. And hey, we can agree to disagree. But that's all I feel that is. It's just like, I don't know. A lot of weird shit happened too, and like with church and shit too, and then just a lot of weird shit. Like people get taken advantage of.
I didn't know where I was going, but then when I started taking the other two girls first, every time I looked behind me, I saw this dark figure. I was gonna come right back from, but someone kept following me. Maybe it was paranoia or what. It was a tense situation, but I could have swore that I was being followed for a good few miles. I just said to be quiet and let's walk, basically. Oh yeah, the guy just said be quiet and I'll come back. And then I felt horrible when it took all the way till morning to get
And I won't deny there is probably something too in the sky or some shit. I won't deny it, but I won't say for a fact it's true. But I won't totally disagree with you that it might be something.
But since he wasn't there, the only thing I could do was open his storage, the trailer, and get him under a blanket. And I also, that's where this was from. I checked the food, and it was all stale. And I was realizing by then it was already afternoon, and the other two girls were stuck in the barrel. So I was like,
It certainly is odd that despite being too nervous to even describe the sleeping arrangements at the compound, Sam is more than happy to casually talk about stuffing 2 girls into barrels, one of which was his own daughter. He shows zero empathy for what it must have been like for the girls to be trapped in such a small space for so long, with no food or access to a bathroom.
In the cold.
What made you decide to leave those 2 in the barrels?
They go good together, I guess.
They're good friends?
Yeah, they're good friends, yeah.
Sam takes a long pause before answering the question,
He
making
was
it clear
thinking.
that he doesn't want to respond. It seems he may be hiding the true reason that those 2 were selected to be put into the barrels.
So you understand, you know, Sue Hot, your oldest daughter, what's her name? This year, she's just not doing too good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they ended up having to carry her in the hospital. You know, she's just real weak.
Yeah.
A lot of them aren't doing very good, you know, in the cold like that.
Yeah.
You understand the severity of that?
Yeah, I do. I only did because I thought it was a serious situation, but it went way over my head. And I accept the responsibility.
Could happen if something happened to them, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd be held for manslaughter probably or something, right?
Yeah, it'd be pretty bad.
I would feel terrible about it. I'd accept responsibility for it. If that happened, I'm totally open on that topic. I went way over my head. I know I did.
Sam's reaction to finding out one of his children had to be hospitalized comes across as callous. He appears to be unconcerned and doesn't
Like he
even
don't
ask
really
any
care.
follow-up questions regarding her well-being.
Like, where is she at? What hospital is she at? Is she crying? Is she like tight shit?
While this might be the detective's first time encountering this colder side of Sam, Keith and Catherine have become very familiar with it.
And then a week before that, they very suddenly made a statement that anybody that left would be killed.
Did they,
in fact,
follow that up with a threat other than be killed? Tell you how you'd be
well,
killed?
they basically did. In fact, one day, it's U-shaped out there. I don't know if you've seen it. We have a kind of a corridor there. So the kids are supposed to stay in that corridor, and a helicopter or somebody came over. They were supposed to run inside the trailer. One day, one of the kids, I stepped out of that corner area, which was okay. But one of the boys followed me. And Sam blew up, and he mentioned something about killing us, or killing me. Yeah, if I caused them to find something else.
So how long ago was that?
2 weeks ago.
While it's likely that John manipulated his parents and exploited them for money, it's important to keep in mind that Keith and his
God,
wife
it's so
are
fucking
adults.
dumb,
They also
bro.
have a responsibility to keep their grandchildren
I'm saying
safe.
some niggas just shouldn't
Instead,
reproduce,
they
bro.
ignored major warning signs about John. In fact, throughout his interview, Keith appears to be more concerned with his current financial situation rather than the safety of any of his grandchildren.
But I can even say me to a certain extent. I may on some shit. I may be mentally weak.
It's clear that life on
With them
John's
is religion.
was a nightmare. But unfortunately, the cult had
Like maybe anything else, probably like a scam. Probably a scam wouldn't get them. But he hit a point where they like, no, I believe him, like type shit. Like no, like he put it in a format of religion.
They got married? I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, well, they sleep together. And I said, how did they sleep?
Concerned with his current financial situation rather than the safety of any of
Wait,
his
huh?
grandchildren. Between the death threats, the living conditions, and the brainwashing, it's clear that life on John's compound was a nightmare. But unfortunately, the cult had an even
That shit
deeper
look
secret,
wild.
one that Micah finally warns the detectives
I'm pretty
about.
sure. Every cult like that got some weird ass sexual shit going on. I'm so why haven't they got to that? 'Cause I hate for that to be the shit.
They got married. I'm like, they got married? I'm like, what does that mean?
You're not Sam's wife.
Children. Between the death
Wait,
threats, the
am I-
living conditions,
I
and
keep-
the brainwashing.
I'm talking too
it's
much. Hold on, let me
clear
shut the
that
fuck
life
up.
on John's compound was a nightmare. But unfortunately, the cult had an even deeper secret, one that Micah finally warns the detectives about.
Like, I'm glad you going back there, and he turns around and goes, are you glad to not be Sam's wife anymore? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, they got married. I'm like, they got married? I'm like, what does that mean?
Wait,
He's like, well, they
who?
sleep together. And I said, how did they sleep? And he's like, well, I slept in the container with Grandma and Grandpa, and then John slept Did they call them their wives? He goes, yeah, he called them their wives and they kissed them. And I said, where? He goes, on the lips.
Even I'm already knowing that's what's going on, but it's crazy. Like,
My friend had the younger girls away from the older ones. And then the why they were going by different names. The younger ones were, but the older ones were. In the hospital, they decided to go by Elizabeth Richards.
What's your name, sweetie? Elizabeth Richardson. That's a good name.
With this dark revelation, several missing pieces of the puzzle finally slot into place. It explains why Sam was nervous to talk about the sleeping arrangements on the compound. It's common for predators to choose a victim who either already is isolated or one who can be easily isolated, such as Sam and John separating the older girls from the other children. The goal of a predator is to minimize their risk of getting caught. The less people the child has to talk to, the less likely it is that they'll report. This information also answers many questions about John and Micah's relationship. Their disturbing age gap is
wait, he cut some shit out?
that John has a history of pursuing minors. Additionally, it's also common
Yeah,
for predators
duh,
particularly
Mom.
takes an extreme lack of empathy, failure to abide by lawful behavior, impulsivity, aggressiveness, and lack of remorse. With this new
This wouldn't even be happening at all. This would be a different timeline, a bad timeline. Mom, what the fuck are you thinking, bro?
To betroth each other's daughters to them for when they're older and they're of consenting age that they
This
would
dumbass
actually
shit.
consummate a marriage with them.
When did they do that?
They did it before we even left, and Keith and I said, no, sorry, that's not right. And they said, okay, Mom, we've got this revelation that this is to happen. It's what they did in the scriptures, but the Lord will take our lives if we consummate the marriage before they're of consenting age. And I said, when is that? And they said, about 10 years from now. And I thought, okay, they'll be 18. Sam and John were so strict about everything. I mean, they really believed this religion that I didn't worry. And I said, okay.
Where is this nigga John at, bro? Hang this nigga, bro. In GTA. Fuck that in real life, nigga.
Our family, and we'll be like a father to them until that age. And I said, okay. Basically, everywhere we went, Sam had in the tent. And John
She is weird as well. Her mom, the mother, the mom that for the 16-year-old when she was 16, she's weird for even allowing that whole thing to even go on. She's just weird, bro. And then it's just two dumbass families going together. It's just two dumbass. This how you get dumbass people, nigga. Like, and you just allow them to create shit.
We weren't comfortable with it, but we accepted it because of all these revelations, John.
I'm telling you, some niggas. I forgot who said this. I'm not the first person to say this, but I totally agree. Some niggas they need a device or some shit. They're like, oh yeah, you off Rick? Nah, you can't have kids. Like to read their future or some shit. And like, oh yeah, you can't reproduce, bro. We gonna help you out a little bit by not allowing you to reproduce and affect the other populations. You know.
When they betrothed each other's daughters, did they actually have a ceremony?
Not with us around. I think they did probably on their own where they knelt and prayed or something like that, but we weren't.
But as far as you know, they had actually married, or? or you didn't know that?
No, just, see, that's what I kept asking John, what's the difference if you're married, you consummate marriage, and you're not going to consummate it and ask the girl's permission until they're 18? He said that's right, that it's like in the Old Testament where you give your daughter and then, you know, they live in your household and stuff until...
It's like a pledge.
It's a pledge. But the girls started calling themselves wives in the camp, and that really bothered me.
You see, John's oldest daughter, then 8 years old,
That's when you got
started referring
bothered?
to herself as Sam's wife, while Sam's daughter, then 7 years old, said she was John's wife. But as horrifying as this is, it's only the beginning of the shocking revelations.
The climate policies of the past 3 years help give our planet a fighting chance. Let's keep going.
I still believe John.
Bury these niggas under the prison.
Any signs of anything wrong. We never viewed anything inappropriate.
Speaking of that, did you ever see them being affectionate with each other?
Everybody was affectionate. We were like a family, so nothing more than usual.
That's crazy.
I mean, we'd all tell each other, I love you, you know, and stuff, but nothing that would make me think that there was anything. I mean, the girls, I've been around girls that...
And she probably lying too.
Have you ever seen with Sam and things?
She probably lying.
Grandmother as a woman.
Yeah.
And think something...
Oh, I didn't know.
Maybe it's questioning that, maybe they're not having, but what they're doing is just not right.
Yeah.
What did you see?
Just him oohing over her.
Like how?
Just spending a lot of time with her, and we brought it up to John and Sam and said, this is not going to happen. And, you know, the revelation saying it was inappropriate, so they stopped. In the camp, you have to understand that
Cap.
we were trying to be a Zion people, and we love each other and stuff, so we never thought it out of place. I mean, they never got intimate or affectionate or anything like
So
that.
you never seen, yes, Sam?
Oh, no.
You never seen him touch
That's
her?
Cap.
You touched him?
I've seen, there was
She's lying.
touching, like on the shoulders and...
Cause she'd be dumb to admit that. Cause she'd be a part of the whole thing going on. If they go down, she go down. So she has reason to lie. If they go down, she going down because she was a part of it.
Catherine is giving inconsistent
She's lying like a
statements.
motherfucker.
She may be purposefully withholding information to avoid getting in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
As we saw earlier,
Exactly.
Catherine was very concerned about getting arrested, so she's evidently worried about any
Mm-hmm.
repercussions she might
She's
face.
lying. The
It's
dad
also
lying
possible
too.
that while she did notice that things with John, Sam, and the girl seemed wrong, she pushed those concerns away because it was easier to take the path of least resistance. It was likely very difficult for her to believe that her son would hurt a child, so she simply chose to believe that he wasn't. Her inconsistent
That he
statements in the
wasn't.
interview
She
may be a
deluded
reflection of her
herself.
own doubts. Unfortunately, if Catherine saw Sam doing something disturbing and abhorrent with his so-called wife, then it's likely that John was being just as reprehensible with his.
They made an agreement that if they would give their daughters to them, so that
They was probably doing all sorts of shit to them little girls.
consent, they could marry them. And so that was the agreement. They assured us that there was nothing going on, so I'm hoping that's still the case. They made a promise that there would not be any relations at all.
He's lying like a motherfucker too. Lock that nigga up too.
Raise them as their daughters, and then when they became of age, then they would marry them.
Of what age?
The age of consent.
And you think that sound right, nigga?
My guess is puberty when they're able to marry.
Notice how when Keith talks about the marriage arrangement and the age of consent, he places a lot of distance between himself and the officers by sitting and leaning into the corner as he talks. It's almost as if he's trying to distance himself from the topic because he knows deep down how bad this arrangement really is and how the officers may be viewing him.
And I'm referring to when you were out here at your compound in Lund.
We had Kathy and I had a tent, and the boys and Kathy and I were in one tent. The boys slept in their beds together with their sleeping bags, and Kathy and I used our mattress. We bought our mattress from us.
In the tent or in the conic shed?
Put them in, well, in the beds too. Every room we went, we brought all that stuff along. We had to take 2 trips, so usually we slept with in John's tent.
Just the 3 of them?
Let's see, did he have Sam. Just the two of them, yeah.
So when did they make that arrangement between them?
They made that arrangement and that agreement in the beginning when this whole thing started.
So
They promised us that everything would be on the up and up, there would be no problems.
Right, and I don't know.
We had no reason to mistrust it. We did.
But the beginning being what? What time? What month? What time? What year?
We found out that they had made that commitment. It would have been in July.
You told me that you're very much understood that there was going to be no going on between them or anything like
They
that.
made
There's
that
a future plan,
commitment
right?
to us that there would be nothing going on that would be wrong.
Right.
My whole issue with this, like, this whole thing is weird as fuck, bro. This whole thing is weird as fuck. He's trying to make this seem not as bad. Like, oh, they're gonna wait till they turn. That's crazy, bro. That's even crazier, bro. No. That's just as crazy. I say for them not to wait, that would be like, I don't even know. My brain hurt, bro. So you telling me you thought it was better because they were gonna wait till they turned 18? Not that they're groomed, like, nigga, they were literally gonna be. If this did happen, bro, let's just say this did happen. Literally, bro, they were groomed up until they're 18 to do this shit. If they weren't already even doing shit with them, bro. Which they probably were. I doubt they were waiting. They probably were doing crazy. They probably were doing shit. I highly doubt they waited. I highly doubt they were just waiting. Like, oh, no. They probably would have waited till they turned 18 to come out with the shit. Like, oh yeah. I highly doubt it, bro. But that's wild, nigga. You thought it was better because both the mom and the dad, nigga, you thought it was better because they were gonna wait till they got of legal age. You thought that was better. You see how niggas just go through all mental gymnastics to make things seem right when it's like obviously wrong. Niggas go through mental gymnastics to make shit just like shit that's obviously bad seem right. That's crazy, bro. And I will say this again. With every situation, bro, the human mind is crazy. Because even with shit that's not even extreme as this, nigga, niggas will go through mental gymnastics. I won't even say I ain't did shit like this. I ain't did shit like this. But like, if I was to do something wrong, I know it's wrong, but I would try and justify it to make it not seem as bad. And everybody does this shit too. I won't generalize like that. I'll say like very few people just accept that that's wrong, bro. A lot of people try and justify what they do is right. Very few people just like, no, what I did was wrong. And it's not like, and I say the only reason they probably do that, try and go through mental gymnastics to justify it, because if there wasn't laws in place, niggas would just do the shit outright. Fuck, yeah, okay. Niggas do shit outright without having trying to justify it. But since laws exist, niggas gotta find reasons to justify shit. And even then, maybe some people do just justify without that, even if there isn't law. Like, no, I'm right. This is the right way because of this. It's crazy, bro.
Did you see something that was inappropriate ever? That made you feel
This nigga was probably waiting to get a kid himself.
We never went into the tents. We never went
Nigga, I get a kid if I... Like, type shit.
The girls had their own bed in there and he had his...
This nigga probably mad he didn't get his kid before all this shit happened. He wanted a wife. He wanted a girl. He wanted a kid wife.
Kids were having fun together.
He probably wanted a kid wife too. He just probably disappointed he couldn't get his kid wife before all this shit went down and they got caught up. I wouldn't be surprised.
Wait till these girls become the age of consent, before they would consummate the marriage. And that's the way we left it.
Keith justifies his lack of action by saying that the girls were happy and made no indication that they were being abused.
See?
Essentially putting all of the blame on the two victims. Additionally, these girls have been extensively brainwashed by John and Sam.
Like, nigga, even though you probably didn't have your hands on, like, nigga, you were there, like, letting it go on.
Not a good way of determining whether or not they're being.
Your grandfather, these are your grandkids, right? As a man, Is any of that inappropriate? For what was going on, is that inappropriate? I know you have a religious belief, but let's set that aside for 1 second and think of it as a grandpa and knowing that your granddaughter is in a tent with Sam, who you already don't
As a
trust.
grandparent,
Do you
nigga.
think anything ever happened that was inappropriate?
I had no reason to distrust him at the time.
Well, now that you look back.
Now that I look back, you know, I mean, this, the whole
And he
thing-
probably only doing this so he don't get. Oh fuck. He probably doing this so he don't get in trouble. Cause if he misses, not that he did, so he probably did, but like, even if he admit this, he was a part of it, so he had shit to do with it. So it's in their best interest to be like, no, nothing happened. It probably did, but like from what I seen, I didn't see any of that happen.
That you knew they were having. I want to know from your point of view as a grandpa, as a male, and that being your granddaughter, did you ever see something that just didn't sit right?
That's your granddaughter, nigga.
I guess I did see it.
Did they kiss?
Yes.
I saw Sam all the time.
Like how? What kind of way?
She would be sitting on his lap or sitting next to him. They'd bring dinner over or whatever, and you know, she'd kiss him or he'd kiss her.
And you just.
There was no embrace.
Nigga.
But here again, you know, we've known.
This world, bro.
You know, we've known these kids since they were born, and if I thought there was something wrong with Sam, I would think she would have said something. Everything seemed to be okay, so we assumed they were keeping their commitment.
You know when somebody's pure to their convictions, like a religion or...
That's like what rapists do, nigga. Like, well, she liked it, so like, no, nigga. Like, that don't take away the fact that you force yourself on her, bro. Oh yeah, she liked it. Nigga, no, bro. You're weird.
You find marriages like kings had marriages of girls 5 and 6 years old, and the teenagers, I mean, married the mother of the Jesus.
Nigga, this is America.
And that's why I said I'm not here to judge or to argue any of that. And so we never had a problem with that.
We don't have no kings and no queens, motherfucker. This is not whatever time. You's not Jesus. You not a disciple, nigga. Niggas like, oh, well, did it? Like, nigga, is that era, my nigga? Are you them?
They were in danger. Period.
And you didn't believe that because you trusted these guys?
Acorns is built to put investing at the center of your money. Acorns, grow your own.
If Sam and John were both willing to kill anyone who left the compound, is it really so hard to believe that they would be willing to hurt a child?
Now, maybe your own son you know better, but do you really think that Sam...
Like, really?
Probably not.
I told you about how the girls were found, right?
Yeah.
You said it was really cold last night. A big dust storm. 2 of those girls stayed in a barrel out in the field overnight for 24 hours by themselves.
In a barrel? Okay.
In a plastic barrel.
Okay. And
that was at the hands of Sam.
Yeah.
So this guy isn't probably who you thought he was.
Of course.
Because you didn't think he would hurt them.
No. And my son John would not have condoned that.
I don't think so either. I don't know that any father would with their own daughter, right? But I'll tell you that.
Because John wasn't there, I think Sam got scared and he just...
At the expense of
I
their
think he
lives.
felt he was doing John a favor by protecting the girls.
Protecting what girls, though? Because he left one of his and your granddaughter in the barrel.
Yeah.
And took the other 2 with him.
I have no idea because I never dreamed that Sam would do that. He was second after John in this order to take care of everything. And then we find ourselves left this morning, and the granddaughters are gone, his daughters are gone.
So why didn't you report it first thing when you noticed it? You said that. You said Keith told you when you called the authorities.
Because
what was the hang-up?
scared.
Scared of what?
We wanted to make sure that Sam wasn't here because he has threatened to shoot us if we go AWOL.
Catherine's reply of okay when she's informed that 2 of the girls had been left in a barrel all night is a huge red flag. When someone's being interrogated and they fail to show an appropriate level of concern for the situation, Detectives interpret this behavior as a possible indication of deception. Catherine doesn't even seem surprised when she's told.
I'm telling you, she lying out her ass about everything.
She then goes on to defend
The grandma line and the grandpa
by
line.
saying he was just trying to do what John would have wanted. Her complete lack of care and empathy is truly appalling. Having learned what they could from Keith and Catherine, it was time for detectives.
Where the fuck is John?
And things soon
Am I tweaking? Did they arrest this nigga already?
more horrifying.
You know, I've been hearing some really.
We need to start hanging niggas, bro.
You know, as far as the things that's been going on.
In GTA.
You know, that's one thing, one reason why I wanted to get your side of the story.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just things from my kid, things that, I mean, they're way out there. I think.
Oh, well, Mike is not a reliable source, but talks about way above and beyond anything we believe.
Though Sam says Micah isn't a reliable source, she's actually named in the Knights of the Crystal Blade binder. One excerpt reads, "The only financial power thy enemies have in these times to hurt this work is by putting thy family in a situation that would prompt Micah Ariel Coltharp to rebel against thee."
I mean, like, we crazy stuff like being pregnant and stuff like that. And
how to be pregnant.
These niggas is insane.
That's why I'm saying they're way out there.
No, that's ridiculous.
Is there stuff there that, I mean, why would she say stuff like that? What?
I don't know to what degree. I should have a lawyer, but that's way off the left.
Nigga, Lori ain't gonna help out with him, nigga. Nigga, I doubt that lawyer would be wanting to help you, man. If I was a lawyer, nigga, I'd be saying, bro, just guilty, bro. Just pay me and just go as guilty, just accept it. It ain't nothing I wanna do for you, bro.
Would you say I need a lawyer to say yes?
I'd be surprised if nigga. That's crazy, but if you really think about lawyers too, they really gotta defend ain't shit people, like shitty ass people.
Once again, Sam mentions a lawyer, but he doesn't unequivocally request one. And so the interrogation continues.
Is there things going on between that maybe John's doing that Mike is thinking maybe you're involved just because John's doing it? And is John doing stuff with the kids that are concerned?
I don't think anything like that. Okay, so we do believe in betrothal. The whole ancient world does. Arabs to this day do. I'd say that when you get betrothed to somebody, I'll just say this, that you should start to be the one that's the spiritual teacher that takes care of them so that they look up to you, that they start to be attached to. I think that's true with any community.
Now that he knows the police are aware he was betrothed to an 8-year-old, Sam is starting to scramble for an explanation.
That nigga just look weird, bro.
I don't think so. One thing is, just from a medical standpoint, not doing anything down there, but you do check them when you make any kind of agreement, even in the Old Testament. I don't know why she does not have a hymen, but it's either genetic or it got broken somehow early on, but it was before John got her, just so you know that. When we very first made the agreement and we checked her, she didn't have them for some reason. So, and I don't know why.
Who did that? Like the doctor's office?
No, I did it. Just because she's my daughter and I just checked quick. I wasn't doing anything down there. I don't know if you have to be a doctor to do that legally or not, and hopefully I just confess to something, but it was just for the reason of checking.
How did you know about? Not most guys know even what a hymen is.
I never seen one before I checked my girls, but I looked up online and so I could tell what it was.
Did you catch that? It may have been a slip of the tongue, but Sam said "my girls," insinuating that he checked both girls. Not only is this horrific for a 7-year-old to go through, but his other daughter is only 4 years old.
I just did mine pretty close up. It's fleshy.
That nigga is weird.
John's perverted obsession with purity is further elaborated in the Knights of the Crystal Blade binder, where he states, "If these laws of purity and purification are obeyed by he who takes her, and she endureth, she shall be appointed unto him by my servant." Moreover, the document is filled with definitions of defiled women and how they can be cleansed by their husbands. His casual discussion with the detective of how he looked for images of hymens online in order to evaluate his daughter shows that he feels this is all okay and normal. There are also some signs of possible deception throughout his answer, as when he's asked if there would be any sign of on the girls, Samuel responds with, "I don't think so." This is an example of a qualification phrase often used by deceptive individuals. This type of non-committal response allows the person to later change their answer if needed. For instance, if signs of on the girls are discovered, Sam can then claim that he just didn't know. Additionally, notice how when talking about examining his daughter, he first says, "You do check them," in order to put some distance between himself and the behavior before swapping to "we check them," in order to share the blame with John. He finally admits that he was the one who checked his daughter after being directly asked, and he doesn't appear to recognize how inappropriate his behavior was, instead attempting to justify it. This is what John wrote in the binder about it. "The marriage of a maiden is most pleasing unto me, as I delight in chastity, and it will become the only form of marriage in the millennium when my people are redeemed. Then it is also expedient that I reveal unto thee the preciousness of virginity also."
And then the guy can say, "I don't want to go through with that," or "I do," or...
So you're checking to see if there was one, if she had a hymen before she went to this betrothal?
Right, because then you could say, "Oh, well, maybe she's not a virgin, so I don't want her." John still wanted to do the agreement, so...
How does that work? I'm just curious.
So basically what you do is, if you say, I'm interested in someone's daughter, then you go to the father, and you make an agreement. That is what the wife price will be, or if there will be one or not. Check the hymen, make sure there is one or not, and then see if you still want to go through with it.
He knows that the authorities are going to check his daughter for signs of it, and he may believe that by claiming she never had a hymen in the first place, then he may be protecting John from allegations.
Did you check to make sure he was being honest about it, or?
That's probably something I'd talk to a lawyer about, right?
That's up to you. I was just curious how that works. I mean, how do you trust? I mean, I know you say
I trust the word of somebody else.
I trust John, but how do you know that he
told me the truth?
Told you the truth about her hymen?
Good question.
I know it.
Yeah. In my mind, our relationship was wonderful, above board.
Sam's reluctance to answer this question is a huge red flag. If the answer were no, he should have no problem saying that. However, if he did check John's daughter, he may be hesitant to admit doing so to avoid getting into trouble.
Niggas already in trouble, bro. This nigga's weird. They both weird. Where the fuck is John?
Classic first-timers. They don't know that nearly half of all used cars have been in an accident. But Carfax shows how accidents impact price, so they don't have to overpay. Unpause.
Ooh, one with no accidents.
Shop the all-new Carfax.com.
Additionally, Sam uses another qualification phrase while answering the question by stating that in his mind, his relationship with an 8-year-old child was above board. However, we already know that in his mind, things that are not acceptable are okay. So what other depraved parts of their relationship might be above board in his mind?
You gotta get that out there. First thing you gotta do is admit.
So, I think that none of the things I did, in my opinion, are wrong.
According to Sam, he was only following his leader John's orders, who said, "I reveal unto thee the preciousness of virginity also. For behold, when a righteous man takes unto himself a maiden, then their bond is made eternal by my word, and by their godly love." The detective is doing a great job here of appearing to be non-judgmental. This is providing the best opportunity for Sam to open up and reveal details that he might have kept to himself if the detective was confrontational.
But I also think there might be one or two things, also like when he came up with, I should talk to a lawyer about, because he knows exactly what the law says.
It's cross the line. It would be against the law.
Except for doctors.
It's different though.
I actually think doctor checking is crossing the line. or if there isn't, because parents
Bro.
have permission to do whatever, and it was
I just want to see these niggas go to jail. Where the fuck is John?
In charge of obstruction of justice.
Has anyone threatened
Child's-
or coerced you into entering into an agreement with the state in this case?
I'm not in an illegal manner now.
But are you telling me that you are voluntarily entering into that agreement even if you don't love the terms?
Yes.
Okay.
Sam initially pleaded guilty. However, 2 months later, he tried to withdraw that guilty plea.
Nigga, you're guilty. It ain't withdrawing shit.
To entering a guilty plea. He also claimed that while he was
He did exactly what I would have told that nigga to do.
was making him act irrationally, he maintained his innocence for the crimes committed against the children. The judge rejected Sam's attempt to withdraw the plea. While Sam
Man,
was
fuck
trying to
your
protest his
rejection, nigga.
innocence, John was doubling down. According to attorneys, plea negotiations with John
Weird ass nigga. Fucking John.
as the man was convinced his
Fucking
actions
sick
were
ass
sexual.
nigga, bro.
John expressed no remorse for the pain and trauma he caused, instead stating that he was
Bury this
guilty
nigga
of the Old
underneath
Testament
the prison,
and that
bro.
he had been sent back to Earth to promote child marriages. John eventually told the judge that he wanted to be his own attorney and stated there was a lot of truth in the charges brought against him. After making his admission of guilt in court, seemingly accidentally, he eventually pleaded guilty to the charges. Both John and Sam were eventually sentenced to 26 years to life in prison.
Yeah.
The court also believed Keith and Catherine Coltharp could have prevented this horrible act and protected the girls.
Yeah, send them too.
Keith Coltharp spent 48 hours in the San Pete County Jail, and Catherine Coltharp served 2 weeks.
That nigga, no.
confinement. They served 36 months probation.
No, 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 no. Cause they the type of dumbasses, they'll probably go into a different type of fucking cult.
The boys told their mother that Sam would walk them miles into the woods before abandoning them. The children would have to retrace their footsteps to make it back to the compound. Micah also found that her children were so accustomed to the cold that she had to turn down the heat. This is because the compound where the children lived for 3 months had no electricity or running water. They were scared of the dark after spending so much time in it, and her sons had become conditioned to wear diapers to bed because it was too cold to go to the bathroom outside at night, and they wet the bed often. When they came home, the boys shied away from her girls. Micah later learned that Sam and John had separated the children because they saw their sons as competition and threatened to kill the boys if they contacted the girls. When John's 4-year-old daughter was told that her father was being sent to jail, she responded, "Can they just kill him?" Showing the extent of the damage done to these
Really?
kids. Micah says they're getting
Really?
better every day, and all we can do is hope that one day they're able to fully recover from the nightmare they were put through.
These niggas is sick, bro.
When 2 young men suspect a member
These
of their
niggas
own
is sick, bro. These niggas is sick, bro. These niggas is sick.